I'm often asked, what is the most counterintuitive thing I've ever had to do in my life? And as it relates to the personal development journey that I am on, the most counterintuitive thing that I ever had to do was to probably not listen to those around me who seemingly had my best interest at heart, that were my quote-unquote elders, my parents, older siblings that had wanted to give me advice that I had to just not take, because my intuition was telling me to do one thing, and the way I was brought up was to listen to those that had gone before that might have good advice for you. But because of the material that I had been learning, I knew that people have their own paradigms, people have their own belief systems that they develop, and their advice was not sound advice. I needed to ask someone who had done what I was looking to do, which was to pursue my passion of being a coach. And those people, while well-meaning, did not have that. They had not gone before and done what I wanted to do. So it was very counterintuitive to not take advice from my elders, as we're taught to do. Another counterintuitive concept that I had to learn was slowing down in order to speed up. So in order to progress in life, I needed to kind of take a minute and slow down and really study myself, which leads me to my next counterintuitive principle, which was to study myself and worry about myself more than I worried about the external world, my friends, my family, my kids, my wife, my job, my boss. Those were all things that I had been putting first, and I had to slow down and start looking at self. And I always use the analogy of when you're on the airplane, you put your mask on first because you're no use to someone when you're dead. And that was a very hard concept for me at first, but I learned to listen to my intuition, and my intuition was telling me that what was seeking expression inside of me, I needed to follow that, and I had not been doing that for a long time. So I thought about asking this question. Think of a time where maybe you knew, but you didn't follow your intuition, meaning you had this gut feeling to do something, to act, to move towards a certain goal that you might want, but fear crept in and kept you from moving towards it. Fear is one of the biggest things that keeps us from going forward towards our goals in life. When you understand that it's simply just this fear, this notion of something that could happen wrong, it's just a belief. It's just the same as having faith. Faith is a belief in something that you don't see. Fear is the same thing. It's keeping you from acting out of some belief that it maybe goes wrong, but it's not real. It's just a belief that it might go wrong. And fear was keeping me stuck in my life. And so if you can relate to that, if fear's keeping you from moving towards your goals, trust me, I get it. I've been there before, but it's no fun to be stuck. Your intuition tells you what to do. Your intuition is this inner knowing that until we get used to listening to our intuition, we just put it off, and we don't do the hard thing. Probably one of the last counterintuitive things I had to deal with and had to make a decision about was whether or not to get a divorce. I felt like the divorce had to happen in order for me to progress in life and to kind of attain to that new person that I was always wanting to be. I felt like in my marriage, I was being held back. I was not able to fully express the desires of my heart, which was trying to kind of seek expression through me. And it was just not allowed to come out. And I learned that when you listen to your intuition and you're able to overcome the fear, and then you take massive imperfect action towards your goals, then you move towards your gut feelings with that action, and that action will produce a reaction in the universe. So there's the law of cause and effect. When you create a new action, you're causing a new effect, and that effect is going to be based on the intention you have. If you have a positive intention, it will be positive. And I thought that a great thing to help you guys with would be to do what I sometimes do, which is to keep a log of my intuitive hunches versus my thought patterns, right? And to start distinguishing between what is it that I intuitively know to do, this gut feeling or this hunch or this prompting. I keep a journal of those things, and then on the other side of the page, I'll write down, but what do I think about those things? So if I have a hunch that I should get a divorce, well, I'll write down, that's my hunch, but then I'll write on the other side, what do I think about that? Well, it's going to be hard and scary and difficult, and maybe my kids will have problems. Maybe, you know, it'll be really bad. Maybe I should just stick with it because it's not as bad as maybe it could be. All of these fearful thoughts I'll allow to come through, and I'll write them out. And when I start looking at and start weighing the pros and the cons, so to speak, you know, you can sit with your intellectual mind and logically try to think about all of these answers, but truly the answers to all of your questions are inherent in the question itself, and that's called your intuition. So when you ask the question, you already know the answer before your logical brain kicks in and starts answering them for you, and because most of them come through that filter of fear. It's not the filter of faith. Until you can transition over to being in this state of at ease, of well-being, of faith, then you'll start recognizing your intuition more and not allowing those fearful notions to creep in and to keep you from acting on what you already know to do. So I hope this message has been clear and helpful for you, that when you have an intuitive hunch, that you'll follow it regardless of what other people might say. If you need a coach or someone that has gone before you, who's made hard decisions and can help you, then seek out a coach or someone who could be your mentor that has done what you want to do and can give you sound advice and help you really just follow your intuition. So a good coach will help draw out of you the answer that you already know. It's already inside of you. So I hope that message has been clear and helpful for you. Hope you have a great day, and as always, practice an attitude of gratitude. See you next time.